see them dropping out here, or I can see them if I move here and just leave the high-priced ones, Potomac, Silver Spring, Fairfax, Virginia. So you might ask yourself the question, is there a correlation with bedroom size, with house size, the number of bedrooms? Do you expect to have large houses only in some neighborhoods? Well, let's find out. And the answer is no. They're distributed quite uniformly. What about small houses? Well, you can see there are no small houses in the northwest section where the more expensive houses exist, and we don't see the preponderance of those large houses. So this enables you to generate queries in a way that I think no keyboard-oriented query language with textual output could possibly do for you. So this dynamic query was a provocative demonstration in our labs, and it led to many people coming and saying, gee, I want to use that tool. And of course, it is just a prototype, and we'd love to see a real estate firm pick it up and make it happen here. But we did find people made some found that there were some impediments. They said, oh yeah, very nice. You've got a map of Washington. That's good. But I may not always have maps as a domain to display the results. Well, we responded to that with this design. And let's come back to the demonstration here, where I have the same data, but now the output, instead of a map, I've replaced with simply textual output. I preserve the directness of manipulation on the query. So now if I manipulate the cost, and I hope you can see this result bar on the bottom, as I drag the double box slider, you can see that it tells me how many of the 911 homes in this subset will satisfy the query. So if I go back to the same query of 170,000 down to 140,000, you can see there are 150 of the 911 houses that satisfy. If I go back to my query of between 3 and 4 bedrooms, I'm down to 89. Let's just choose eliminate condominiums and apartments, just look at houses. We have 65 here in the whole area. And I might say I'll insist on a fireplace by deselecting the no component. So I say yes, fireplace. I have only 14 left. I can scroll this horizontally. I look at the prices, or if I wish, I could select to sort by prices, and I now have an ascending order list from 140,950 to 168,950 among these 14 homes, and I could print them or continue to search in other ways. So my point is that this kind of tool, which gives you 100 queries per second, every time you adjust the slider box, you're issuing a new query, produces such a flow of animated information that it helps you organize your thinking and reformulate the goals that you have in doing the queries. So we've looked at points as output, we've looked at text as output, but we've found other ways to make these dynamic queries effective. And the example I want to show you was one we built for the National Center for Health Statistics during the past summer, which shows us a map of the United States and cancer rates. Red indicates high cancer rate. This is cervical cancer data. And if I click on any state, well, let's click on Maryland over here, we'll see on the lower left a box which tells us the statistics that we've got here about the state of Maryland and the demographics related to cancer rates. So we might explore just by clicking, but we can also explore by moving the sliders to discover patterns of cancer in the population. So for example, I see 1950, I could move 1955, 60, 65, and 70, and you can see by the screen changing to blue that cervical cancer rates have gone down dramatically in that period because of the emergence of the Pap smear as a widely used test to detect cancer early and thereby provide treatment. So that's one pattern we could discover. And now the other kind of pattern would be here we're looking at this control widget about the percent of college educated. And if I slide them down as states begin to drop out, you can see that the states with low college-educated populations have high cancer rates. And in fact, it is the knowledge of availability of testing that leads to lower cancer rates. And so we see the unfortunate effect that those with poor education are less likely to seek treatment. Similarly, if we look at income, we find a similar pattern about income, that the high income states are low cancer states because they have also sought treatment. On the other hand, smoking, which you often think is related to cancer, does not have a direct causal linkage with cervical cancer, and so we don't see the same pattern. We see some of those red states dropping out because this does not correlate as strongly with cancer. And so that was a remarkable discovery, and the statisticians were very pleased to see this, be able to confirm their hypotheses, and our efforts now are moving towards making 900 regions for a finer understanding, and also going to 20 different statistical values that we should be able to present in this kind of an environment.